Hello and welcome to Livestream Tuesday. Phil here from Wings of Pegasus. This is the time of the week when I go live and play a few videos, also see who's online. So without further ado, let's get the comment section up on screen and see how they're getting on. So we have Carla in the house already. Hello Carla, and Rose has already donated $2 in the super chat. Thank you so much for that, Rose. That is without doubt the fastest ever donation in the super chat of all time. So thank you so much for that, Rose, and Mr. Awesome Cat, and Susan and Dennis Cook. Hi guys. Just while I'm talking to Susan and Dennis, they made a donation a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a few weeks ago, that I didn't see when I went through, so sorry about that guys, but great to see you in the house tonight. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We've got everybody here and it's all going through. We've got Starry Night, Leslie, John, Ian, Shirley, Lisa, Thor. Hello guys, thanks for joining me on this Tuesday night. And as I say, always in the live streams, thank you to my patrons because they make videos like this possible, and they make every single video that I do on YouTube possible, the analysis videos, the cover videos, and my original music videos, all of that kind of stuff. So the names going along the bottom of the screen are going to be the names of my patrons, so they should be starting just down there. So thank you guys so much, you know who you are. So getting into this live stream, we're going to be playing a few requests that we've had over on Patreon. I always give my patrons a little bit of a warning before I come online and go live. And hopefully this has worked this week. Maybe there are more people in the house than normal. I don't know, fingers crossed, because I set the start time to the actual start time rather than saying half an hour before, and then it being Tuesday, because this is technically Wednesday now here in the UK because it's 3 minutes past 12, so we've just crossed over into Wednesday, but I think for most people watching this, it's still going to be a Tuesday. So fingers crossed it's worked and everybody's tuned in and everything's fine. And I'm going to be getting into the first video of the night, and this one was requested over on Patreon, and I can't remember who it was. It was Carla who did request this one. I just had to have a quick check, and Carla was first in the house tonight as well. So thank you, Carla, for requesting this half an hour ago. This is my live version of my original track called Haunted, and I hope you guys enjoy this. It's from the live stream gig that I did. And while these videos play, I'm always going to be in the comments section and maybe occasionally dipping in and out of those comments. So I'll be in there whilst this plays. If you can also leave a like as you come through the door, that would be massively appreciated. Last week we got to over 300 likes for the live stream. I don't know what we can get this week, but it's one hell of a target to try and hit. Fingers crossed, maybe we can do it, but if everyone starts with a like early on, we'll be in better shape to maybe achieve that goal by the end of the live stream, but we'll see how we go. So this is my live version of my track called Haunted. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you after. Rock! 1, 2, 3, 4!
Another dark December day.
So that was my track called Haunted. Obviously, the live version of that is available on my album, which is called Persistence, which you can get on iTunes, Amazon, and my website, wingsofpegasus.com. So we've got a few more people coming through the door of the live stream, and we had some donations on the super chat whilst that all went on. So it went crazy in the super chat section. Thank you guys so much for the donations, because first Damaged262 donated $5, and the message was, Buffalo, New York, sending love, just waiting on some wings to be delivered. This is the right town to order them in. And it is indeed, but also you've got some wings delivered to your screen, however you're watching it, on TV or a tablet or a computer, PC, Mac, all of those things, or on your phone. Thank you so much for that donation. And buffalo wings from Buffalo are probably the best place to get buffalo wings, but I don't know, maybe you can start up some kind of debate on that in the comments section. But anyway, thank you so much for that $5 donation. And then Gina Cena donated $4.99, and that is tea money. So thank you for that, Gina. Thank you. I will be spending that on tea, and you get different types of tea. I think the most, prevalent one in terms of sales here is black tea, I think it's called that, but also Earl Grey tea. I do occasionally have that. So I'm probably just talking to nobody now, because I'm not sure how many people know about teas, but those are the two main ones that I have. But thank you, Gina. I'll go out and buy some tea. But also good for the vocal cords. If you want to have just a warm cup of tea, is something that I think always helps if you're either rehearsing or you've had a long night of singing, maybe with a little bit of lemon in there as well, and some honey, or maybe just some honey in water with a dash of lemon. But let's not get into vocal recipes. Thank you, Gina, for that donation. And then Jay Porter 504 donated $5, and we've got the little picture of the man lifting weights saying keep it up. So thank you for that donation, Jay Porter 504. And then we have Lynn, who has jumped in with a $100 donation. Crazy donation from Lynn. Thank you so much. The message with that is cheers, thanks for making us all smile. And like I always say with the donations here on the live stream, if you do accidentally put something in and press the send button or the enter button, whatever it is, don't worry, we can always sort it out afterwards. But thank you, Lynn, so much for that $100 donation. Underneath that, Lisa donated $10. Thank you, Lisa. And the message with that is, love acoustic version of Paris Nord, have been crushing hard on that song this week. So thank you, Lisa, for listening to that song. One of my songs that's also on the album, same as the one that we just heard there. So thank you so much, Lisa, for that $10 donation. And then we had Tim. It's going crazy. I'm just scrolling down, but I'm going to get there and then we can move on with the show. But thank you guys so much for these donations. Tim O'Heron has donated $5, and the message with that is, here's $5 from California, where I wait for my spaghetti to finish cooking. So thank you, Tim. We're getting a dinner theme to tonight's live stream with buffalo wings so far and spaghetti. So thank you, Tim. And we've had tea in there. So we're really getting a recipe together. Some tea, maybe starting with buffalo wings, but that might be a side order to the spaghetti. Anyway, let's not go down that road. Thank you, Tim, for that donation. And then Carla has donated $4.99, and the message with that says, we want all the details on your Abra signature WOP martini. Don't leave out any details. Cheers. So thank you for that, Carla. You might have to explain to me in a little bit more detail the details that you want, but thank you for that. Oh, Martin. I read that as martini because of the exclamation marks after it. That's what I read it as. So apologies for that, Carla. And there's no Martin yet. Unfortunately, I've got a couple of Tanglewoods that are my acoustic go-tos at the moment, and there's a classical guitar behind me as well, but is it behind me? It might be behind me, it might have to move a little bit. Oh, there you go. I just saw it. Because everything's in reverse on the screen that I'm looking at, I move the wrong way to have a look at whatever's behind me, but there is a classical guitar as well, but it's really bad. The action is awful. Almost 1 centimeter, if you can imagine that, for those guitarists out there. But anyway, Carla, thank you so much for that donation, $4.99. And Rose has donated $5. And again, thank you, Rose. She was first through the gates tonight with the super chat. And we've got a message with that. It says, have you ever experienced stage fright playing before an audience? Not really, not that I can remember. I guess probably the most nervous I've been is during a live unsigned festival, it was called, but it was like a 6-month journey around the UK, but we just did ours in London, but there were other bands playing in all the other major cities in the UK, and then everyone met for the final in London. And I remember being in the semi-final, and I was quite nervous performing there, but other than that, I'm pretty much just happy to get up on stage and just enjoy it. It's probably half enjoyment and half nervousness, but I think nervousness always helps because it just keeps your feet grounded and you're never going to get too much ego on stage. Some people that are just really overconfident generally aren't that good musician-wise in terms of their instrument, but also maybe singing because their ego takes over, whereas I think that if you're a little bit nervous, it's a good sign that you are just more practiced and rehearsed, and you know that things can go wrong, but you can always be ready for those things the more you do practice and rehearse. And I think every single performer, no matter how big they are, the good ones are generally quite modest and they do get nervous, and they say that they get nervous. So yeah, not too much on the whole, but yeah, I think that was probably the only time that I can really remember being nervous. But that was great because it worked out that we came third in the whole of the UK for unsigned bands. So that was really good. And we went on a little UK tour as well. So that was cool, all thumbs up. And we won lots of stuff as well, like drum mics and SM58s. I don't know how many SM58s we won, but we won t-shirts and lots of other gear because it was sponsored by, I think it was Daddario and Shaw and lots of stuff. So anyway, that was cool. But thank you so much for that donation. And we're going to have a look. Just while I've been talking, there have been more rolling in. Thank you guys so much. And everybody, as you come through the door, if you can hit that like button, that would be massively appreciated. Because last week we got to over 300 likes and we're trying to maybe get to that target this week, but we'll see what happens. So thank you, Rose, for that $5 donation. And Kathy has donated $2 as well. Thank you, Kathy. The message with that is, love you, Phil. Thank you for that, Kathy. And thank you for the donations. And then underneath that we had DCP Music. And the donation is $4.99, and DCP Music says, recording an EP soon, already got a few songs for it. What's your process in writing new music? Love your video and would love your feedback. Thank you for that donation. Pretty much everything starts with guitar for me, writing-wise. I come up with a riff, I might just be jamming with myself, just messing around with ideas, and then you'll generally hit a riff that does something in your consciousness and you think, yes, I like that. And it just blossoms from there. You just work out a variation off that riff, what I do, maybe for a verse, or if I want to have it in the background on a chorus. And then once all the guitars are in place, that's where I then start to put vocals over the top, play around with melodies, and then find lyrics that are going to fit well for the phrasing that I have melodically with my singing. And then probably the last stage is drums and then bass. So I do that a little bit in a reverse order writing wise, but once it's all written in the studio, it's always drums first, bass, and then rhythm guitars, and then sometimes vocals, and then lead guitar after that, or I'll do the lead guitar and then put the vocals on afterwards, and then maybe have the harmonies all at the same time. I generally, on my album, did the main lead vocal on one day, and then a couple of days later I'd do all the harmony vocals for that song. So that's just how I approached it for doing my own album. But thank you so much for that donation. And then Empress Mermaid has donated $5, so thank you so much. And the message is, I'm making chocolate pie to go with the spaghetti and buffalo wings. So we have got now, I guess we could have the buffalo wings for a starter, spaghetti main meal, and now we've got a chocolate pie, and that can be the dessert. So thank you guys so much for the donations and for this amazing recipe, or menu I should call it, that we've just come up with tonight. And Empress Mermaid, thank you for that. And Vince has donated $5, and Vince says, Phil, Carla is talking about a drink, a martini that has the name Wings of Pegasus. Carla wants to know what it's made from. And I don't drink, so my knowledge of alcohol is rubbish. I don't know anything about anything. I know that I like grape juice, which is kind of close, the same fruit that's used to make it, but in terms of anything alcoholic, I really don't have a clue. So I am definitely the wrong person to be asking, especially about cocktails and martinis. The only thing that I know it from is from James Bond, Shaken Not Stirred, but my knowledge, unfortunately, stops at bands and music and old techniques that they used to use and the ones that they do use, and all of the different stylizations on guitar and vocals stops there. And then alcohol, I don't know anything about. So apologies for that, Vince and Carla. And Carla has just donated underneath, and the message is, martini, you have pictures of it on your Facebook page. It has a chili pepper on top. If I do have that, I don't know. It's probably somebody else's drink that I've picked up, and I don't know. I haven't checked all my Facebook pictures to see what's on there, but I guarantee you it wasn't my drink. It has a chili pepper on top. I'm not sure the one that you're talking about, the picture, but I'll have to go on the Facebook page and see which picture you're referring to, which is now going to be famous for this cocktail. And maybe somebody knows a cocktail that has a chili on top. I don't know what it's called. But anyway, Carla, thank you for that $4.99 donation. We'll get to the bottom of this martini thing. And then Gina Cena has donated $9.99, and she says, guitar money, thank you for the music. Thank you, Gina, for that donation. Another one. And Leonard has donated $10, and Leonard says, ice cream on chocolate pie. So the dessert has been improved. Thank you so much for that donation, Leonard, and all of you guys in the super chat. I'm just spending the whole time talking about the super chat because we've had so many donations. But thank you everybody in the comment section. We've got Lynn in the house. We've got Dwayne and Ren and Starry Night and James and Brian and Jeff and Charlie. Hello guys, thanks for tuning in. If you haven't hit that like button, that would be massively appreciated if you haven't done it so far. And you can only hit it once, unfortunately, but if you could hit it lots of times, you could just be hammering that like button. But just once is enough. If you get a chance, then you can always like the other videos on YouTube as well, because every single like helps the channel to grow, and these live streams are just like any other video really, so it helps it to get out there and for people to see the other videos of the analysis, videos that I do every single night here on YouTube. So anyway, let's get on with the show, because I did an analysis video on last night. Was it last night? I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, it was Eddie Van Halen playing his Eruption solo. I think, yeah, it was last night, because I'm going to be releasing the second half of that because it went on for a long time on Wednesday night. So that'll be tomorrow night. So I did a version of Eruption, a cover of it, and that has been requested to be played tonight on this live stream. So we're going to be jumping into that, and hopefully you guys like it, and I tried to get it as close as I could. I mentioned in the analysis that Eruption as a guitar solo has so many tiny little details in there that is so difficult to hear and then nail. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. And when I recorded it, I just plugged in the guitar and did the Eruption solo, and I totally forgot about the drums that are on it, so it's just me playing the guitar. So I apologize that there's no drums on it like the original, but hopefully you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you guys in the comment section while it's playing. Rock! So that was my cover, my attempt at Eruption by Van Halen. And right at the end of the video, what happens is when Eddie does the original solo, he locks in the pitch when he gets all the way down with the dive bomb and the Floyd Rose bridge, but I couldn't do that because I didn't have the same pedal, so it meant that I had to hold it at the pitch. And then anybody that has done that with a Floyd Rose, holding it really still and then trying to fade out the volume is such a delicate procedure, so that's why at the end I'm just really stuck in that position while I'm fading out the volume. So just to explain that last bit of the video, but I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And it's really difficult to get that close, but fingers crossed it sounded a bit like Eruption by Van Halen. So while that video was just starting, I think it was just a second before, we had another donation in the super chats. So thank you Nervous Wreck, who donated $20. And the question with that was, did your family influence your interest in music? And yes, I think probably my dad used to play in a cover band, and I went to watch him when I think I must have been in my teenage years, but he'd played guitar before that. So he used to play his white Fender Strat, and I think from a young age that probably planted a seed, and then I wanted to learn how to play guitar myself, and he just showed me a few chords, and then it was a case of me just hammering away at the practice and just picking up as much as I could, and also listening to a lot of Jimi Hendrix, because that was the first player that I listened to extensively, so trying to get some of that stuff that he was doing down on the fretboard whilst listening to it. And this is the thing, that when I was learning to play the guitar, there wasn't such a thing as YouTube and slowing down music, so I'd have to listen to it and try and figure it out like everybody did back in the day, trying to figure out what the hell this guitarist is doing just from the audio and not seeing, not even being able to look at their hand on the fretboard, so you're just trying to work it out by ear, which I think is a really effective way to train your ear to then be able to decipher different lead lines and pitches, and it really helped me, I think, to learn that way. And maybe it's something that the younger generation miss out on now, just instantly getting the answers and not having earned those answers, so therefore attuning your ear to be able to hear certain things within the music. But yeah, so I think to answer the question, yes, that definitely was an influence on me growing up. So thank you so much for that $20 donation. And then Gina Cena has donated $4.99, and she says, amazing guitar work. So thank you for that, Gina. And thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. If you can hit that thumbs up, it would be massively appreciated. And we've got Mario in the house. I've spotted him in the comments section. So everybody say hello to Mario, because that's what we do on these live streams. Whenever Mario enters that comment section, hello, and hello to my deputy who I have seen, and also the sheriff is in the house tonight, so Laurie is in there, and I'm not sure if I've seen Neil yet. Kathy has just popped into the comments section. That is one of the deputies who I was just referring to. So hello guys, and thank you for keeping just a track on everything going off in the comment section. I think everything's pretty much okay tonight in the comment section. It's funny that last night I had one troll who was just on a mission on my channel to post as many comments as possible, and it's great that they've got enough time to spend just typing out comment after comment after comment. And it was interesting because it's always the same, that you go on their YouTube channel and there's one subscriber and no videos. And interesting, this was a bit interesting, maybe a bit weird. He had videos of him filming the TV, and it was President Obama talking on the TV, and he had like 3 different videos of him filming the TV, just filming the news, and that was weird. That was just his YouTube channel. So anyway, it takes all sorts, but that was just the troll of the night. Fortunately, I don't get very many trolls, and when they do pop up, I think they maybe have their say and maybe follow the links that I'm giving to them in order to find out about my background and my music and other people that have listened to my music and effectively analysed it and given their opinion of it, and then they never come back. And some, actually, to give them their due, they do come back and apologise and say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realise that you're actually a musician and you do all that stuff. And talking about stuff and being a musician in the future, I've been talking to Frank Marino today, and he will be on the channel very soon. We're just trying to work out a way that we can do something together in terms of analysing Frank's playing and get around, well, not get around, but have something that is going to be available to play on the channel and not really get in trouble with copyrights, because Frank has some different contracts, and it's a complicated thing, as it always is with sync rights and copyrights, especially for Frank, because he will be on the channel talking about it. So we'll be getting that sorted out and ironed out in the future. But yeah, fingers crossed, Frank will be on the channel pretty soon, because we've been chatting about that today and over the last couple of weeks. And also, if you checked out his video last week that I showed, the trailer, check out Frank Marino's DVD box set. It's a Blu-ray as well. I've been watching the Blu-ray, and it's not only great quality, obviously being Blu-ray, but the quality of the shots, actually seeing the fretboard, which is what every guitarist wants to see during a solo. You get some great angles. So check out that Blu-ray and DVD box set if you get a chance, but I will be alluding to it when Frank is on the show anyway. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in and for hitting that thumbs up. And again, while I've been just blabbering on, we've had more donations in the super chat, and Tim has donated $5. Thank you, Tim. The message with that is for giving me an appreciation for harder music and for appreciating music of my era. Hello, Mario. So Tim is leading the hellos. I think I've seen a few of those going through the comment section. Thank you, Tim, so much for that donation. And then we had George Orwell, who has donated $24.99. So thank you, George, for that. The message is, after shredding the guitar, you'll need new strings, a few dollars to help the cause. So thank you for that, George, and that is definitely much appreciated. You can't have enough strings, especially with Floyd Rose. If your string goes on that, it is a nightmare. But also I've got some other guitars. I had quite a lot of other guitars, and actually the telly is in need of a serious string change. So thank you, George, for that donation. And then we have Kathy under that, and she's donated $5, and she says, you remind me of my youngest brother. He is so much like you. Great inspiration. So thank you, Kathy. Your younger brother or youngest brother must be a really cool guy. But thank you for the kind words. And I'm hoping that he is a cool guy, and maybe he's not a very nice guy and a bit rubbish, and that's why I remind you of him. But thank you nevertheless for that donation, Kathy, and that was $5. And then we have Choppin' Broccoli, who is another serial donator, like so many people tonight in the super chat, and it's $10 donation. And the message is, it was really interesting what you said about the physiology of hands and how that will determine how and what you can play. Tremendous cover of Eruption. So thank you for that donation. And any people out there who have played the Eruption solo would have noticed that I'm not playing it the way that Eddie Van Halen plays it, because he's got really big hands and I don't have really big hands. So it means that I've had to learn to play it a different way to how it's played, but still to get it sounding the same way, or at least as close as I can get it, with my own physiology, which means I'm playing the techniques in a different way to Eddie Van Halen, but fingers crossed still getting a relatively similar result. And that's what every guitarist will go through when you start getting towards techniques that are very complicated and playing that is very technical in nature. You'll have to start adapting the playing to your physiology, because everyone will start to do that, and you'll see it amongst all the top players. They all have a very particular way of doing things, even Eddie Van Halen. But I've done so many other videos where you look at the right hand of some of the really fast alternate pickers, and they'll all have a slightly different angle and a slightly different way that they've approached it because of their body. They can't all do it the same way because we're not all built the same way, and we're not all machines. But anyway, thank you for that donation, Chopping Broccoli. And it's just something that I find interesting as a teacher as well, because when you teach a lot of people, you get all sorts of shapes and sizes of people and hands. So just teaching them a way for them to achieve the sound, I think that's also an important thing to let everybody know, that you will be able to play it, but you just might have to change the way you are playing in order to achieve it, because it is possible. I think everybody can play the guitar to whatever level they want. It's just doing it in the right way and just accepting that you will find a way for your own physiology. But anyway, thank you, Chopping Broccoli, for that $10 donation. And then we've just had another $10 donation, and this is just a straight up donation, I think, without a message, and it's Marnin Gritter Guy. I hope that I'm saying that correctly. Everybody in the live stream will know my history with pronunciations, but fingers crossed I am getting better as time goes on. But thank you so much for that $10 donation. Hello everybody in the comments section. Thank you so much for joining me on this live stream Tuesday, and if you can hit that thumbs up like Barbara has just done after her message, and Amiga as well, who said loved your review of Status Quo. So thank you for that and for hitting that thumbs up, everybody in that comment section. And if you haven't done it, it would be massively appreciated. And we've just had a Goonies reference by Troubling Tucker, who says Baby Ruth, and well spotted that I've got the Goonies t-shirt on tonight. So as you can see, I've gone for the all grey look tonight. Normally it's all black, but I've managed to synchronize my look with the t-shirt and the hoodie over the top tonight. So great reference there, well spotted. We're going to be getting back into the show. This video that I'm going to play now is one that I played last week, but I think last week the audio that I had on it was just the demo version of the track. So this has got the actual audio on it, and this is the audio of the album track Greed, and it's a lyric video. So it means that you can read along, obviously, whilst I'm kind of singing in the background, so you know what I'm saying. And just quickly, Empress Mermaid has donated $5. I almost said Express because it's so small on the screen, but it's Empress Mermaid, and I know that because this is another donation. Thank you so much. It's $5, and the message is, I was booted from a band in high school because I was so bad. Why couldn't I have had a guitar teacher like you? The one I had was grumpy. So I don't know, it's probably a timing thing and a location thing as to why I couldn't be your guitar teacher. But I think there are so many guitar teachers and teachers in general who, for some reason, I don't know why, they've got their own agenda with teaching. So when students come to them, they say, right, you're going to learn like this, and you are going to be able to play exactly this song that I want to teach you. Rather than somebody coming to a guitar teacher and the teacher saying, what do you want to do? How do you want to sound? Which guitarist do you like? Which guitarist do you want to sound like? And do you want to write music? What direction do you want to go? What genre do you like? So that you can actually get them to go in a direction that they're passionate about, that they want to do. So it might be the fact that they do want to learn how to play Guns N' Roses or Van Halen and all those different songs. They might want to play fingerstyle. They might really be into folk music. They might want to write folk music and play fingerstyle and be able to sing at the same time. There's so many different directions you can go in. I think a teacher is there to just show people the direction they want to go in and teach them what they need to learn in order to sound how they want to sound. Because again, this is just my opinion, but if guitar teachers all teach the same thing to every single student, at the end of that journey, you're going to have hundreds and hundreds of players who all play exactly the same way. And it's going to be just like a conveyor belt of the same player, the same type of player playing the same genre. Whereas I think, again, as a teacher, just let people play what they want to play. And this is what I do with my students. They turn up, I say, what do you want to learn? How do you want to play? Who do you want to sound like? In 10 years, what do you see yourself playing? Do you see yourself singing and playing? And whatever they say, we then work back from that 10 years to the techniques that they need to implement in order to reach that goal in 10 years' time. Normally, if you practice a lot, it's not going to take 10 years. But if you're looking to get really, really technical with your playing, then it probably will take between 6 and 10 years. But just for following your own vision, it shouldn't really take too long if you've got a good teacher. Anyway, that was a really long answer to that donation and the question, but thank you so much, Empress Mermaid, for that donation. Thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. It is massively appreciated, and for those of you who have hit that like button, let's get into this lyric video track. This is my track called Greed. I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm going to be in the comment section while this is playing, and I will see you guys after this video. Rock.
Sees the bottle
So there it was. That was my track called Greed. That was the lyric video, and I always have a little bit of a laugh when I watch that, because there's just one point in that performance in the background where I do a rock face at the end of the solo. I kept it under control, but sometimes you just cannot help it on the live performances especially. I also did a bit of that during the cover of Eruption, but it just comes out sometimes, so just the way it is. But anyway, during that we have also had, I think, Rose, let me just have a little look. Gina actually donated $4.99 during that performance, so thank you for that, Gina. There was a message with that says, I connect more to this song after each listen. So thank you for that, Gina, and for that donation. I think that in the future, what I want to try and do is get a lyric video version of all of my album tracks. The other track that I have, Running Blind, that I think already has the lyrics on it. No, it doesn't. Unwanted Stranger has the lyrics on it. So maybe I can do one for Running Blind, but hopefully you guys can understand what I'm saying anyway, because it's like a close-up of my mouth for most of that video. So hopefully the words come across, and maybe I won't do a lyric video, that one. But it'll be cool just to have the whole album so that at least you can read along. I don't know, but I like to read along with lyrics whenever I'm listening to a song, because you get a little bit more of an appreciation of the writing and the inner message to the story, because sometimes it's hard to hear, especially with hard rock music. If there's a blazing solo or a riff that's really loud in there, you might miss a word or two. So I think it's always good to have it clarified in a lyric video. So Gina, thank you so much for that. And then we had another donation from Rose, and that was $2, and Rose says, do you have a favorite among your original songs? And I'm not sure that I do. I think I like all of the songs equally, because I spent just as long on each of them. And I guess Percy Johnson was a song that I really liked the writing process of, but then again, when Paris Nord was completed, that just happened in such a quick time that it was something that wrote itself. So it was one of those that was easy, and I obviously like easy things. When the song writes itself, it really does take so much pressure off, because sometimes you can go without writing a song for ages, or you write a song and then you listen to it back and then you think, well, that actually wasn't very good. But I think the whole album, the whole Persistence album, I'm happy with all of the songs on there, because I've been playing them for so long, gigging with them, and I knew them inside out. And at no point did I ever think, when we were gigging every week with that set, I never thought, oh, that song's a bit weak, so I'm not going to get rid of that, and I'm going to get rid of another one, and then we'll bring another one in, write another one. But then you'll write a song and play it live, and then you realise that actually it doesn't work very well. So they're very complicated things, but I like all my songs equally, but maybe a little bit of Paris Nord and a little bit of Percy Johnson, a little bit above that. There is the lyric video of Percy Johnson somewhere as well, so I have to play that one week, but I like the up-tempo nature of that as well, because I do lean towards up-tempo tracks and just face-melting guitar solos. Those are the kinds of tracks that I listen to. So anyway, thank you so much for that, Rose. And we've had a few more donations. We've got Jan, who has donated 100. I'm not sure what that is. NOK, is it Norwegian maybe? I'm not sure. Or Jan, it could be the pronunciation of your name. Apologies if I got that wrong, but thank you so much for that donation. Maybe over in the comment section we can see where that currency comes from. But then we have Tim again with $5, and Tim says, Phil sings, the bottle is my friend. It must be a bottle of tea since Phil does not drink. Exactly. It's a bottle of grape juice. As I said, I do like grape juice, but just not with the alcoholic element to it. So that is it. And again, when you're writing a song, it's not necessarily about yourself. This is a song called Greed, as you could read along with it, it's following the journey of somebody who started out with nothing and then got everything and just burned all the bridges with those people that helped him get to where he was. And I'm sure a lot of people have been through that. It's, again, I'm writing about a person that doesn't necessarily exist. It's not about me, but something that I think has happened to other people. So it just was something that I wanted to write in terms of an interesting story. But anyway, thank you so much for that donation and for that comment. And then Gina's donated again. Goonies forever is the message, and that was $4.99. So Gina, thank you so much for that. Goonies never say die. That could have been another message with that, but thank you. And Susan and Dennis Cook donated $4.99, and they say Dennis's cousin never wore a bucket on his head, but his name was Tar Bucket and played a mean jaw harp. So thank you for that donation, guys. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I think I did miss one of your donations in the previous weeks. So sorry about that, but thank you for donating again and for that $4.99. So we are getting towards the end of the live stream now. I'm not sure how many likes we've got so far, but if you can hit that thumbs up, that would be much appreciated. And maybe somebody in the comment section can let me know what the likes are at. We're aiming for 300. So if we can get a spike of the likes. Now, what is the time? It's 50 minutes in the live stream. So this is the first time I've said to spike the likes. So maybe we'll just get one right at the end of the live stream at 50 minutes. So if everybody can hit that thumbs up now, we can get a spike in the likes. So thank you guys for the donations as well. We've just had a couple more that have come in. Chopping Broccoli again has donated $10. And the message is, I know that you're a guitarist first, but thanks for your analysis of Ginger Baker, rest in peace. And that's no problem. It's my pleasure to remember such a legendary drummer. And thank you everybody that sent me all of the messages and emails and all of the comments, because they just flooded in on that day. And I don't think I could do a video that night considering what had happened. And I did have a message that somebody said, and this is a common thing, and I totally understand it when people say that you're doing a video to try and get views after somebody's died. And I said to the person that, no, I don't really need any more views. Where this channel is at the moment is just immense, and thank you everybody for subscribing and liking and watching the videos. I really do appreciate it, but that video is something that I want to do, and obviously the subscribers, all of you guys are asking me to do it, and I think it's disrespectful not only to Ginger Baker but subscribers to just totally ignore all of those requests that people are asking for, because they're subscribed to this channel. So if everybody wants to see a particular video, to ignore that would be disrespectful. But also for Ginger Baker, I think that if I can put 4 to 6 hours into a video and release it on my channel for people to know about him as a drummer, everybody forgets that the younger generation might not even know Ginger Baker. So if I can somehow get people to understand who he was, maybe tell a little bit about him and his career, so that at least that memory can be given to the younger generation of people. So it's something that I think, if you don't do anything, obviously it's a totally different thing. If you do a video and you don't include anything about Ginger Baker, you don't include anything about the performance or his life, and you're just using it and putting on adverts and trying to make money from it, then yeah, that is a totally different kettle of fish. But if you are spending your time doing something for the memory of a musician, and also hopefully spreading his music to more people, then I think it's definitely worth doing. And it's definitely just worth spending, like I said, 4 to 6 hours in the nighttime just to keep his memory up on this channel as well, because he wasn't originally focused on. And I do know that he is a drummer and that I mostly do guitarists, but I just felt that it was the right thing to do that evening. But anyway, sorry for talking so long about it, but thank you so much for that donation, Chopping Broccoli. And we had another one under that, and it was Jan again. Maybe we need to have a little bit of clarification in the comment section as to whether it is Jan or Jan. I'm hoping that it's Jan, but thank you so much for that donation. It's 50 NOK, whatever the currency is, and we get the little exercise man again saying keep it up. So thank you for that donation. And then TN Moppy has donated $10, and there's a message with this. It says, Phil, Coke or Pepsi? Great question, TN Moppy. I mostly have Coke Zero, and I say mostly, I don't drink it every day, maybe once a week. But then I also do like Pepsi Max. As you can tell, I don't have the drinks with the sugar in it because it doesn't agree with me. So it doesn't agree with my body, I should say. I can't really deal with a lot of sugar at one time, especially in liquid form, which is weird. But chocolate bars seem to be a lot better, so I can still eat chocolate. But I guess Coke Zero is the one that I lean mostly towards, but I do really like Pepsi Max. So I guess that doesn't really help. If I had to choose, probably Pepsi Max, unbelievably. But anyway, thank you so much, TN Moppy. By the way, guys, go over to Facebook, check out the Wings of Pegasus supporters group, because that's TN Moppy. That is the very same person who owns that group over there, and she will let you join that, and you can continue the discussion from the live stream if you want to over there. So thank you for that donation, TN Moppy. And then Lynn has donated $100, a crazy donation. Again, thank you, Lynn, so much for that. Like I mentioned, guys, if you accidentally do donate a number that is a bit crazy, it's okay. We can sort it out after the live stream, because I read all the comments and check everything out on Patreon and Facebook and emails as well, so don't worry about it. But Lynn, thank you so much for that. The message is, congratulations on over 93,000 subscribers, and thanks for the grace you handle the trolls with. So no problem, Lynn. I actually quite enjoy sometimes talking to the occasional troll, because they obviously have nothing better to do, and sometimes it's just funny to see some of their comments that actually don't make sense. And more often than not, it's a contradiction what they're saying. Like when I get a troll that says, I don't know who you are, but they're on my channel and they know that I'm Phil from Wings of Pegasus, so they're contradicting themselves, saying, I've never heard of you. It's just something that I find quite entertaining. But anyway, Lynn, thank you so much for that donation. And then Gina has donated again, $9.99, and the message with that is, good night, Phil. I hope you get a cup of tea before bed. And yes, I do. That's when I have my Earl Grey tea. I say before bed, what generally happens is I'll make a cup of tea before then getting stuck into the comments on YouTube, and then the comments will probably last for maybe an hour and a half, so my tea's gone cold. So yeah, it always works out that way. But thank you so much for that donation. And then we have Michaeline Couch, who has donated $9.99, and this is one of the pronunciations that I finally got my mouth around. See, now I can pronounce the names correctly, but then actually speaking just normally is now out the window. But Michaeline, thank you so much for that donation. And then Jen Rat has donated $5. The message with that is, someone else's question, your rock star habits. I don't know, probably the biggest habit I've got is nodding my head when I'm listening to something, and it's just something I can't help. It's just the beat that happens, and it's something that I've done from a very young age. Whenever I'd be listening to the radio in the car, sitting on the back seat, I'd always shake my head. Sometimes I do tap my foot quite a lot as well, but mostly, as you'll know from the videos, just moving my head forwards and backwards. And whenever the video is recorded, because there's an ever so slight delay in the footage from the audio going into the computer, sometimes it looks like I'm perfectly like half a bar out of time if you're watching my head, but I am nodding in time, but it's just the delay on the video. It's just one of those things that some people have noticed, how perfectly out of time I am, but still perfectly in time, but out. But anyway, thank you so much for that donation, Genrat. And then Kathy has donated again. The message is, that is disrespectful. All Phil is doing is paying a tribute to the great artist. So thank you, Kathy, and thank you for the donation. I think pretty much everybody in the comments section, especially on these live streams, and for the most part on the channel as a whole, we've got a really great bunch of people who regularly come back to the videos. And like was mentioned earlier by TN Moppy, it's over 93,000 subscribers now. I think that happened today. So we are growing, and it's great that we're getting like-minded people on the same channel, because that's what music is all about, is not only listening to music that you like, but also listening to music that another person likes, and just giving it enough respect to not just throw it away and think, right, I'm not listening to that because it's not my favorite genre. But every piece of music can be listened to, because all it is art. It's just a different kind of art. And there'll be pictures and artists that you like, and then other ones that you don't like. But it doesn't mean that there isn't something that somebody else will love about that other piece of art. So yeah, it's always interesting to look at all kinds of genres, especially musicians, artists, bands, and everything that I tried to feature on the channel. But anyway, thank you, Kathy, for that. That was a $5 donation. And then Richard Stevens has just donated $10 as well. And thank you, Richard, for that. That is a straight up donation. Now we've just past an hour of the live stream, so maybe we can get a spike of the likes on the 1 hour, because I've still got one video to play. This was requested over on Patreon, and I'm just gonna hop over to Patreon on my screen here just to have a quick look to see who requested this. It was Nancy who has requested Amelia. And this is just the track from the album with some pictures. This is another one of those videos that in the future I'll try and do a lyric video so you guys can follow along, but hopefully you guys can understand what I'm saying. This is going to be the last video of the night. I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm going to be in the comment section as always. I'll see you guys after this to close out the show, but this is my track called Amelia. If you do like this, please hit the thumbs up button, and we'll see where we are after this track. So I'll catch you after this. Rock.
Imagine if I told you all the things that I never took the time to tell. Even if I told you, understand that you and I is lost forever. Under all this emptiness, each time I try to get inside, you run a mile, no time for talking. Amelia, Amelia, how could you lead me on this way? I knew I should have stayed away. There's nothing more left to say. It's time to go our separate ways. They say that time is a healer. I don't believe what they say. I'm broken anyway.
So that was my track called Amelia, and I wasn't sure whether that was the version that suddenly cut out or whether it faded out, but that was the fade out version. I think I might have made it a little bit abrupt to end that particular performance video. It wasn't really a performance video, it's just a picture video of performances. So thank you for requesting that. That was Nancy over on Patreon. I hope you guys enjoyed that one, and like I said before the video, hopefully at some point I'm going to have a lyric video that I can put over the top so you guys can follow along. And also in the comment section we had some people asking about Amelia and who it was, and the name wasn't an actual person, but I think most guys out there can relate to the story, and it might not have been the person's name, but it's certainly a situation that I've been through in the past. But the name wouldn't fit melodically or with the phrasing that I wanted for the song. It had to be Amelia. There had to be those, what do you call them? I had a total brain freeze as to what the when you get the beat, the phrasing, it has to fit in. I can't believe that I've forgotten what the word is, but somebody in the comment section will know what I'm trying to say. In order to get the word to fit into that melody, it needed to be Amelia, and it couldn't be a name that was like, I don't know, Trisha. I'm sorry to use your name, Trisha. I don't know why that just popped in. But what about Reb or Harp or Cindy? Certainly Reb might have been a different twist on the song altogether. It would have maybe appealed to a different audience and a wider audience. Who knows? Somebody else can do another version of Amelia, but just put Reb in there. But it wouldn't fit melodically and the phrasing wouldn't quite be correct. So it wouldn't really work the same way. But so, to answer what was going on in the comment section, it is a real person, but without the name of Amelia. Amelia just suited the track a little bit better. But anyway, let me stop blabbering on, because we have another set of donations that have come through, and it's after Richard, who donated $10. Thank you, Richard. We then had Rin, who donated $10 as well. And Rin says, Phil, another great evening. You rock. So thank you for that, Rin, for that donation. And then we had Lou Silver, who's donated $20. And the message is, love your music, Phil. Love from Louisa Silverside. So thank you, Louisa. So I was, for the moment when I read that, thinking that Louisa Silverside was some kind of beach resort or something, because it sounds really exotic, like Louisa Silverside, but that is your full name. So thank you, Louisa, for that donation for the $20. And then we have Captain Ron 1913, who's donated $5, and the message with that says, thanks for such a positive message, and thank you for reviewing my 70s bands. It brings back fond memories. So thank you for that donation, and no problem. I get through all of the requests eventually. And this live stream is probably the longest one I've ever done. It's already 10 past 1 in the morning here, so I'm gonna have to call this a night pretty soon. And Empress Mermaid has said, next week, how about we make tacos? Tacos? How do you say it in the USA? Tacos? Or is it tacos? I don't know. But in the UK, you can tell that I haven't eaten them in any great number. I think I've had a taco. Somebody, it's just going to be pronunciations that we're discussing in the comments. But I'm going to say taco. So next week, how about we make tacos? So maybe we can. This week has been spaghetti with chocolate pie, ice cream, and buffalo wings. So that was our menu for tonight. Thank you everybody for creating that menu. And then Tim has donated again, and Beatrice would have worked. And it's not as many syllables. That was the word that I could not get out of my brain. I don't know why. Sometimes you're just trying to think of a word. The harder you try, the more your brain says, no, I'm not going to give you that word. But syllables is what I was trying to say earlier. Amelia had Amelia, 4 syllables in it, and Beatrice, depending, it doesn't really matter how you pronounce it, it's only 2 syllables, so it still wouldn't have fitted into that particular phrasing, but certainly you could just say Beatrice and have it slightly shorter in the song, but Amelia worked for me. I think there was maybe one other name that I was thinking about putting in there, but Amelia was the one that I went with. But anyway, thank you, Tim, so much for that $2 donation. And then Jan has donated $100. No, not $100. 100 NOK. Maybe it's $1. Sometimes they have like still dollars. I'm trying to think of like a Tunisian dollar or something, even though that probably doesn't even exist. But you know what I'm trying to say is that you could have another currency, but they still call it a dollar, even though it's totally different and the exchange rate is different between the dollars from that country and the USA. But anyway, Jan, thank you so much for that. $100. I'm not sure what that currency is. Norwegian krone. That is what it is. So thank you, Jan, for that donation. We got there right at the end of the live stream. Finally, we deciphered this currency, and it's... Jan has just written £9. So thank you so much for that donation. I'm going to have to call it a night here, guys. I was going to say day, but it's definitely night. Actually, it's technically morning here. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. As Laurie says, I am rambling on now. So it's a good time to call it a day for the live chat and the live stream and everything that's going off in the super chat section and the live comment section as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm going to be calling it a night now. Thank you everybody for the super chat donations. Really crazy donations tonight. Thank you everybody for hitting that thumbs up. It's much appreciated. If you are watching this in the future from now, so watching it, this is obviously live now, but if you're watching it on catch up and in the future, you can still hit that like button. It all really does help for the video to get out there and for this channel to grow even more, over 93,000. So thank you so much to all of you guys for subscribing and making that 93,000 a reality. And thank you for watching the analysis videos, for your comments, and a massive thank you as always to my patrons at the bottom of the screen, because they make this all possible. And thank you guys for coming over from Patreon as well. My patrons who are also in that super chat section, you know who you are. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I'll see you at the next analysis video. I'll see you on Patreon. I check that every night as well. And if I don't see you those 2 places, I'll see you the same time, same place, live stream Tuesday next week. So I'll see you guys then. Catch you later. Rock!